interaction with the constituents, you can do it. Where is the money to buy fuel? Honestly, we are cash strapped. We are cash strapped, and it's a very serious. I can't tell you. I mean, what we are.
It's very difficult for me to believe it. Maybe you are cash strapped to do your official work, though.
Official and
non-official.
Non-official.
Okay. The Chronicle has put it. It's now official. It says Parliament will not be able to reconvene on May 27, 2014 to discuss or deliberate on issues affecting Ghana as earlier scheduled due to a general dry-up of funds. That's how they put a general dry-up of funds that has made it very difficult for government to honor most statutory payments in the country. An official communication, we're being told from the clerk of Parliament to Parliament itself, Emmanuel Anyimedu, to all members of Parliament, has as of Tuesday, 3rd June 2014, indicated that barring any further unforeseen circumstances, that will be the issue. Parliament can convene. And it says that no reasons were given for the new day, but sources close to the Chronicle say Parliament is stuck broke. All these are just politics and speculations. It's not true.
It's true. It's not speculation. It is true, my brother. It is really true. We are a lot of, I mean, a catch trap. We don't have money.
Before you went on recess, what was the situation in Parliament?
The situation was bad.
At the committee level and
the committee
and
level,
plenary.
Everything was bad. But we thought by now, like giving us some money. But up to now,
if you say bad, what do you mean? You know, sometimes
we have
sometimes some of you members of Parliament make very categorical statements which are very ambiguous, as if, well, they are not very self-explanatory.
Yeah, we can't, you know, discuss everything here. As a member of Parliament, I don't have to sit here and tell you everything in Parliament. But what I'm saying, the statutory payment that we ought to get, we are not paying them. The GET fund is not coming, the Common Fund is not coming, the NHIS is not coming, the HIPIC is not coming. All these four funds are not coming. So what do you expect us to do as members of Parliament? This is what we are talking about. And apart from that too, there are so many serious issues that I cannot discuss it here. I mean, that one is in chambers.
Now, the difficulties you feel you're experiencing administratively, how is that affecting work in the House usually?
Honestly, it is going to affect the House when we reconvene. If we don't get any money and we reconvene.
We're not talking about after. We're talking about the difficulties you were experiencing before you went on recess. How was it affecting you?
It was affecting us, but we thought by now, few months by now, there will be some payment. 2 months, we have not got even one cedi in our accounts. So what do you expect us? That is why I'm hearing on air that they are going to postpone it to another week or two, because we have to get our certain payments, we have to get money, we have to, I mean, we have to work as lawmakers, we have to work as parliamentarians in the interest of Border Ghana. But
you do understand these are all just speculations, right?
It's not speculation, it's a reality. It's not speculation, I'm a member of Parliament, I know what I'm talking about. It's not speculations. We are really hard trapped. We are very, 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 somebody will say, yeah, hot.
And you can't discuss things that that should be confidential in public.
That is confidential. We can't discuss it here.
Okay. It's good. You're a very good member of Parliament.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, the Millennium Challenge Compact, it's managed by the Millennium Challenge account or corporation, so to speak. They've signed an agreement with government. Following that story on page 16 of the Daily Graphic, says that the U.S. government is preparing a $500 million grant to support Ghana's power sector through the second Millennium Challenge Corporation Compact. We know that the first one enabled us to undertake a number of activities, including the N1. Yes, and when finalized, this compact will directly strengthen the power sector, that's Ghana's energy sector, by improving reliability and service delivery, as well as help ensure continued and cost-effective power supply. What do you make of the current initiative?
Yeah, I say it's signing now. It's now signed. It's not going to be signed. You see, Ghanaians are very good. I'll link up to Kufuor administration. Because of prudent economic measures, the U.S. found it necessary to give us this money. That we're able to construct the NY and so many projects. The recklessness in this administration, the wanton dissipation of public funds with this administration is the problem. When these funds are really released, it must go to the power sector. It has to go to the power sector. If these funds are released and we do not use the money for the power sector, we'll have a big problem.
The differences with this very compact, just like the first one, is that the money is not released to the government of Ghana. So we have the Millennium Authority, the Millennium Development Authority. The money is released through them for specific projects. So the government of Ghana really, it doesn't go through Ghana's consolidated fund. Otherwise, that would be...
But I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
With NDC administration, they can do anything.
No, really?
Oh, yes, they can do anything.
That's a very ambiguous statement.
Well, it's ambiguous,
but also a very unfair statement to the NDC.
No, I'm not saying it's ambiguous or it's unfair. Well, you know what is happening in this country now. You know what is country. I mean... Look at the country. But you're also Ghanaian. You know what is happening in this country.
Okay, what is happening?
Well, I'm saying that if the money is going to be released, it has to go to the power sector alone. And what I'm saying is that we have to be very, 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 very careful in our spendings. Though government is not going to government consolidated fund, but then they have to prudent measures to make sure these are addressed in the interest of the public. The public. Yes, so I've seen it here. So in the nutshell, it has to be well, managed by the Millennium Challenge. We don't want any government interference on this Millennium Challenge funds at all.
But what do you make of now the initiative, the Millennium Challenge compact, so to speak? And we've had the first one, 547 it was.
Yes, 547.
And I remember I.C. Quay having a famous quote, 547, and all that. Now, it seems to have been a very good thing for us as far as the developmental aspect is concerned. It also helped us to strengthen our relationship with the United States of America.
Yes.
Now, if we have in excess of $500 million being invested in Ghana's energy supply sector, that's a very good thing for industry.
Yes, that's very good. It will boost industry. And the private sector being the engine of growth will have to grow, because at the end of the day, we'll have enough power to turn our industries. That is what we are all looking at. And we will not be getting this unnecessary interruptions and all this sort of thing. And I'm already suffering from unnecessary interruptions. This one I was just listening to news. All of a sudden, the power is off. Very vital issue that I was listening, and the power just got off.
You mean on radio?
On radio and on telly.
The whole television went off.
It went off. What are telling us that today will be a power cut? This time it is uninterrupted. Unnecessary interruptions. This is what is happening right now in this country.
How do you think, in your estimation, that is affecting industry and the growth of the private sector, especially the manufacturing sector?
Yeah, the manufacturing sector is really suffering. When we get enough power, these manufacturers are going to produce, and they are going to produce, and the public and the private sector, being the engine of growth, will really grow as an engine of growth. But if you don't get enough power to take up our industries, my brother, we are just suffering. At the moment, the economy is on its bad footings, and when we also indulge it into power destabilization or power unnecessary interruptions, I think we have a very big problem. So this compact is a very good news for Ghanaians, and really we are praying that this will be signed, and when the money comes, really it will go to where it has to go in terms of the power sector. Then all Ghanaians will be okay, including you and me. For these unnecessary interruptions, then we'll also be will not be suffering.
You have a generator, so you don't have a difficulty.
We can't get money to buy the diesel, so
but more crucially, having reliable energy supply or power supply is also crucial to making sure that we meet our current projections. So far, are you satisfied beyond the steps of having a compact arrangement that will enable us invest money in the power supply with the current arrangement to make sure we perhaps manage energy difficulties as we're experiencing?
Brilliant. If the compact is released, brilliant. Ghanaians will be happy, and industries are going to boom. What am I saying? At the moment we have problems in our sector, in our power sector, and if by His grace this money is signed and the compact is released, I think it's in the interest of Ghanaians, and business is good to boom. And at least it will reduce this kind of hardship, among Ghanaians. This is the way I think. This is the way I think, and I think it's good to help all of us.
Now, with the way industry is going, and the president has also enumerated the need to make sure that we strengthen the industrial base of the country so that we add some value addition to raw materials that we get from the resources we have. You should say that you should be satisfied with the steps taken by government so far to make sure the industrial manufacturing base of the country is strengthening in the long term.
Fine ideas, good recommendations, but the implementation is the problem.
What do you mean?
Yeah, on paper it is good, but how to go about it is the problem. We are not producing. We are only importing. Ghanaians are only importing. We are not producing. We are not a producing country. That's what we are saying. The Nana Akufo-Addo was saying when he gets the power as a president of this country, we'll move from importing to manufacturing base. And I think it is the right direction. So if government is saying that, then I think we have to take it in good faith. Good on paper, but the implementation is the problem. So it's a very good idea by His Excellency the President. But we are praying that it will be implemented. That we will have more factories in this country, that the private sector will grow. That the private sector is not growing because we don't have industries. We need more industries. All those industries are closing down because of power, because of payment to workers and all these things. So they are closing down. But if we get enough power and the implementation, as His Excellency said, is good to be implemented, then of course Ghanaians will have a lot of industries, and Ghanaians, the economy will be on sound footing. But as at now, we are only importing. We are only importing. We are not manufacturing.
You are a member of Parliament. Yeah. How do you think it will bode well if perhaps measures are taken for some level of tariff increments on imports, just to give the leeway for the manufacturing sector of the country to also shore up and get to the level of the specifications as well as the level of importations of foreign goods?
My brother, the Chinese are giving us a lot of problems. Goods imported from China is giving this country a lot of problem. We have good timbers in this country. Go to our areas. You get the best timber. When you import a chair from China, within 3 months, 4 months, it's all you know.
You've experienced that?
A lot in this country. They're not happy at all. But if government is able to establish these industries, we have better woods in this country. Odum, mahogany, and my brother, if Ghanaians are producing beds or stuffing chairs, my brother, compared to what is coming from China, it's not in the good interest of Ghanaians. So government will have to make sure the taxes are reduced. I believe in that. When the taxes are reduced, more goods will be we can even export our goods to our neighboring countries, even to far Asia, even to US. We have the best investors in this country. Look at our teak. Look at our teak. And my brother, so I believe industrialization is good for us. So it is got to a time the policies that can liberate us from total hardship, policies that can drive the economy. You understand me? Because the private sector will have to move. The private sector is the engine of growth. So what do we have to do? It's brilliant ideas, but the implementation is the problem. If it's well implemented, I don't think we'll have a problem in this country. And made in Ghana goods are the best, but what are the policies that can drive the made in Ghana goods? What are the policies that can give us hope for our next generation? These are good policies that can liberate this country for total hardship.
Do you think that with the policies and perhaps the well-intentioned ones, as you say, are very good on paper, do you think we need some level of consensus as far as we're concerned, so that there's an agreement? Because there's a perception that perhaps we play too much politics, even with suggestions that are made, especially coming from the stables of government.
Yeah, these days we don't have to. You know, we need consensus to build modern Ghana. We don't want to put in politics that NDC, NPP. No. We need to reach a consensus, make sure at the committee level, in trade and industry, the NDC and the MPP and all the political parties are, you know, deliberating on issues, policies that can help this country. And we are doing it in Parliament, the floor of the House. So we don't play politics when we are really working for modern Ghana at the committee level. We don't play politics at all.
So, as a step, where do you think we need to start from?
Government will have to bring out the policies, and we also have to deliberate on it at the committee level. Then we reach a consensus, both house, both the minority and the majority.
In moving forward with the subject of the current measures that have been introduced, we have the Bank of Ghana measures that are expected to be revised, etc., to make sure that, well, perhaps they are also in line with doing business and etc. Do you think all these will help in improving the current state of the economy vis-a-vis also the depreciation of the cedi against the major trading currencies we have?
Yeah, I think there was an economic forum last week, and we pray that whatever consensus that they have built, it will be implemented very well. I wouldn't sit here and say what they did was wrong. No, it can't be wrong. If they've gone to discuss all these issues and our economic policies, we did policies that can drive Ghana, we did policies that can create wealth, we did policies that can put food on the table, we did policies that can create wealth and job for the people of this country. So, well, there was to communicate when all these things are put in place and there is good policies, Bank of Ghana will have to be very proactive and make sure the dollar is running so high. I mean, I don't know. We don't be thinking of June, July if the dollar will reach 4 cedis. So it is up to them to work extra hard. As lawmakers, we are in parliament to make sure the right thing is done. But the economists that went to the forum, they have to share ideas together and make sure the economy is on sound footing. I wouldn't say what they did was wrong. Well, it is the best interest of Mother Ghana. So we expect the good out of it. That is all. Bank of Ghana should make sure the dollar cannot run again.
Said the Bank of Ghana should make sure the dollar cannot run again. Now, what do you think could be the best form of incentives to be given to the private sector to make sure that there's that level of growth as is being anticipated and being suggested by all?
The private sector need a lot of things in terms of, number one, we need power. As we are saying, the compact, if it is released, it's going to help us. And my brother, importation of goods, raw materials. Government need to do something about it. The freight that we are paying is just too much. The cost is detrimental. Now people are no more important because when they import, the money that they are paying, the duties are just too much. These duties have to be reduced. The port duties have to be reduced. The VAT, if government will listen to me, he should reserve it back to 15%.
Why?
Yeah, that is what is creating the problems. Because when they bring the goods at the port, they can't clear the goods. Where is the money? They can't pay. So they are no more important. And government is no more getting revenues. So governance is a serious business. It needs to work very hard. If I am government, they will have to reverse the 70.5 to 15%. And you see the kind of potential people bring into this country and to drive the private sector, because that is the engine of growth.
You are a member of parliament, you're part of the side that, the plenary that passed it.
Yeah, we were not, they used the majority to Kabul. No, I told them we are not part of it. Though we sat in parliament, we told them the implications that this is going to, give us a lot of problem, it's going to give us hardship. They just passed it. Though we're in parliament, but they use the number to outreach us. That's all. So as far as it is passed in parliament, I'm part of it. But they use the number, to outreach us. This is what is happening.
Do you have concerns that perhaps this directly is affecting businesses beyond those that do the importations?
It is really affecting business. We're looking forward to seeing good policies that can drive this country. We're looking forward to doing good business in this country. If proper and good measures, good economic measures, good economic policies by government is released to all Ghanaians, then Ghanaians will no more suffer. But at the moment, the policies are retarding our progress. These policies are retarding our progress, and we need to get policies that can liberate Ghanaians from total hardship.
Okay, so now we need to have a consensus on how the private sector needs to develop.
Yes.
And giving them the incentives and making sure that perhaps the stabilization of the currency is also critical.
That is
the next phase that we'll have to go is also trying to look at how we can make the provisions in such a way that there is a long-term plan for the overall development of what the goods and services should be in terms of country, not necessarily always relying on the imports. What step do you think we need to take so that there's consensus on both sides of the political divide?
We need to take long-term plans. The ad hoc measures wouldn't help us. The ad hoc measures wouldn't help us. We need to take long-term plans, good policies, economic policies, industrial policies that can create wealth. I want to say create wealth and job for the people of this country. At the end, the youth in this country, or the ordinary person like me, need 2 square meals a day. They don't believe in the big English, the GDP, and the macro stability. Those big English, they don't need it. They want policies that calibrate them. They want policies that can put food on their table. Not the big English, economic big English. No. So we have to get policies that calibrate us. Policies that can give us hope in the near future. This is what I believe it will help Ghanaians. That is all. Apart from that, we don't want any big English, good on paper, but we cannot implement it.
Where do you think the consultation needs to start from? We've had the National Economic Forum. Well, how deep or deeper should we need to increase the consultation?
This government has to be a listening government. They have to listen to people in the floor of the house. Policy making. We have to get all of them, we have to get all of us involved in policy making. Then, of course, this country will move forward. But winner takes all. I'm in government. I'm an NDC. I'm an MPP. So the idea is good, but I won't take it. This is what is retarding our progress. That is indiscipline. Indiscipline retards progress. I'm the minister for power, so I don't want to listen to anybody. No. You have to get consensus. You have to get the best brains. From other side, the NPP, the NDC, the CPP, the PNC, all the political parties will have to come together. You see, as members of parliament in the floor of the house, we need to work together, get to consensus. We have to take the bitter pill, make sure that what we are discussing is in the interest of modern Ghana, not NDC and NPP. If Ghanaians are able to work with this kind of attitude, Ghana will go far, but not political meanings in all things that we do. No. So in the floor of the house, the committee level, we have to reach consensus. Policies, good policy, economic policies, measures that will help this country. That's what we need now.
While you're advocating that we need consensus, your party, the MPP, decided not to participate in the National Economic Forum. Is that not at variance to what you're saying or advocating?
My brother, I didn't want to go there, but I'll go there. My brother, do you need do you know a rocket scientist to tell you not to tell you pay statutory payments? Dr. Bawumia, in his last delivery at the university, showcased everything. He really gave a good point. I mean, if the NDC administration will want to work with the MPP, this is the way we should have gone to the Economic Forum.
So you support the decision taken by the executive of your party?
I really support it.
But at the same time, you're calling for a consensus on all sides of the political
What they have done, you see, one-ton anticipation of public funds.
Is that not double standard?
It's not double standard. Why is this double standard? What we discussed, what we told them in the floor of the house, exactly, if they were able to take it, they wouldn't even go to the Economic Forum. It has got to a time, the NDC and the MPP, we have to work together as a team. By the Economic Forum, what did they discuss there? What actually did they discuss there? So let's wait to 2 months or 3 months if there will be good policies that can liberate us from total hardship. This is what we are also waiting. So if they could have seen us, oh, my brothers and sisters, we are in parliament. We are lawmakers. What are we doing to help this economy of this country? My brother, we wouldn't even go to the Economic Forum. We could have dealt this thing at the floor of the house and make sure we come out with good policies. But I'm not disputing what they have done there. I'm not saying it's not good. what they have done is, but my party took the right decision not to attend the forum. And I think it is the best interest of the party. Now, there will be a consensus building at the floor of the House. And I know Mother Ghana will move forward.
If we would have to move on to the next section of our discussions, then we have to focus on, after the economic forum, what needs to be done and the consensus that needs to be built, as you're advocating, including members of parliament.
If what?
The consensus that needs to be built,
yes,
after the economic forum,
yes,
to make sure that the steps that need to be taken rightly to put the economy on a sound footing. Yes. What needs to be done next after the economic forum? Yeah, especially, even though your party has boycotted it, at least you are saying that everybody needs to rally to make sure we get the best for the economy.
Yes. Well, what they have done at the economic forum, BAM, is we'll discuss it. It will come to the floor of the House. Well, we also have to advise government on what to do. We are not saying we're not going to help build Mother Ghana. But what we need is tolerance. What we need is consensus. Now from today, what happened at the Century Economic Forum, that does not mean NPP or the opposition party are not going to help government. We are working hard to help government, even in the floor of the House. The contribution that we are making in the floor of the House is unprecedented in Ghana's history. Good contributions, and they know it. The other side knows it. We work together. So there was no need of even going to the Century at all. I was not in total, I just don't understand why you should go to Century. We could have done this thing at the floor of the House. We could have done it. Get to committee, we have good brains in the floor of the House. Get to committee meetings and even get those people who have economic potentials in this country to join us in committee discussions, and the best will come out of it. I think if we have done this, we'll not go to Century to spend money on forum and on forum and on forum. So from now, as we are saying, we have to go back to the floor of the House, work as we're working, work very hard to make sure policies that will liberate us will be implemented. Policies that can create wealth, policies that can put food on the table, policies that can create jobs for the people of this country. Now look at Ghanaians are jobless. I mean, just imagine what is happening.
That's a very vague statement.
Yes, Ghanaians are jobless.
No, but
they're not working.
How can you justify that? You are a Ghanaian, you're working.
Yes.
I'm a Ghanaian, you're working. So are you saying there's high employment rate?
High employment rate, that's what I'm talking about. If I'm not working, that's high employment rate. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. So we need to address all these issues and make sure Ghana is first. I believe in Ghana.
Do you think that we have the expertise to turn the economy around?
We have a lot of expertise to turn the economy around. This is a small business. This is a small business. We have the men. Even in the NDC, we have good economists in the NDC. We have good economic experts, and in NPP and in CPP. Come together and work as a team. We don't need forum to turn this country around. We need policies, good policies, and all the political parties, including NDC. They are very brilliant guys who are very good economists. Why would you get them on board to work for Mother Ghana than to go to Century? To do what? I don't subscribe to this Century forum and all this sort of thing.
Okay. Now, we have to turn our attention. The Bank of Ghana, they've introduced, they want a review to the policy where we have bullion funds. You know, the bullion funds, as we have them, currently convey currency or money to various financial institutions for transactions, so to speak. Now, the Bank of Ghana, on page 4 of the Ghanaian Times, says, as described as unacceptable, the use of build-up pickups as bullion funds, because he said originally those pickups are not meant to be used as bullion funds. The Bank of Ghana said the vehicles currently, many of them being used, did not meet the right specifications for use as bullion funds, noting that they were not properly fabricated with the required metallic plate or materials, such as armored materials, to withstand any attack or bullet. do you think that's fair, especially to the many companies that do the cutting or the transportation of money to
it is good that the Bank of Ghana is coming with this kind of reactions. Measure. You know, it happened about last year or last years. Some of these money vans carrying money got a circle. You heard it. Some of these monies, you know, got out from the van, and it was people were just taking the money, running helter skelter. You know, it happened last 2 years or I think
last year.
Last year, yes.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and you know, a lot of money, 50 cedis bundles. People were taking it. People made their day. If I were there, I also take some. So it's good that the measures will help all of us. You know, I think it is in the right direction that Bank of Ghana should be very careful and make sure the bullion vans are really manufactured at a better specification, so that to not give us problems in the future. Yeah.
It said that as a measure, the bank will also come out to guidelines to specifically indicate the type of vehicles and modifications that can be acceptable for use as bullion vans. We're talking about the head of the agency's operations, who is in charge of currency management, Jarvis Frank Chudumeku, who told journalists about this on the sidelines of a workshop. He said besides the vehicles not having strong bodies, they have only one padlock at the back. One security man without having any tracking or monitoring devices, or vehicle behind them to provide security. And if were some places where, well, in some countries, even in Africa,
Ghanaians are blessed.
Yes, it will be very serious to be having a bullion van full of money. Just
my brother, they go in the afternoon when people apply in the bank. They'll just read the whole bank, enter the money. What is bullion van with one padlock? They'll just hijack the car. Oh, I mean, Ghana is a lucky country, so we need to put.
I guess we're very peaceful as far as we're concerned in trying to make sure we maintain law and order, or even obey the laws.
Obey the laws.
Now, if the Bank of Ghana says now that's the direction it wants to go, it means that, well, many of these transportation houses or the agencies that do the transportation of these monies, even some go up to the hinterlands, etc., the rural areas.
That is very serious.
They could go out of business because perhaps the vans could be too much expensive for them to procure.
Yeah, then don't be in business. If you want to do good business, Ghanaians will have to enjoy the security and the safety side of it. So if you feel you can just use any other van, money van, to create problem for a havoc, we don't allow that. The right thing has to be done. The good specification, you have to get, it's just a few of them could cut the money and they have the good bullion vans. Fair enough. If you want to be in that business, we have to get the right people, the right van to cut this money. So, yeah.
Now, we know that this very initiative is to make sure that the banking operations in Ghana are safe. Would you say that's the best direction to go as a country currently?
Well, that's the best direction in terms of the bullion van. That's the best direction. But we are growing. We are Ghanaians. We are growing, and we need to get more ideas, you know, to propel these measures. I know in future, as we are planning towards regaining our strength in terms of economic stability, more ideas will pop up, and it will propel us to growth. Yeah, together.
Okay. Okay. So we have a question here. Alan Chiramantin, the flag bearer aspirant of the 2016 MPP race, according to his overriding objective is to bring the MP back to power to redeem Ghanaians from the shackles of poverty. And following that also, we've had Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo come to say, no agitation should make people come out and make unsavory comments, etc. Let's talk about the race in your party.
Yeah. Alan Chiramantin is a very fine gentleman in our party. Akufo-Addo is a very nice gentleman, and all the aspirants, they are all nice gentlemen. And as a party and as a family, we need to be very civil in terms of the way we talk. There must be decency and decorum in our politics. In terms of if you speak to your own children at home, you have to be civil. Decency and decorum is what we need in our party. We are not saying, we are not fighting or tearing our party apart. Ghanaians need NPP. Ghanaians know that when power is transferred to NPP, this economy will turn around in just 1 year or 2 years. So Ghanaians are crying for NPP to resume governorship. And I know when we put our heads together, we put our house together, there wouldn't be any problem. But then we have to talk to our followers the way they talk on air, castigating Chairman, castigating Nana-Addo. I don't think it is the best interest of this country. At the end of the day, we want power. So if you want power, you have to be civil. You have to be decorous. Decency and decorum will give us the power. But you see these communicators just going on air, insulting each other. I don't think it will help all of us. Well, at the end of the day, we go to the polls and Chairman becomes the flag bearer. Of course, we all go to rally behind Chairman.
Are you saying Chairman will become? Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is that.
Or you're giving an example.
An example that when the electoral college, the elections are held, and Chairman becomes the flag bearer, why? We are going to help them. Now it's going to help him. And if at the end of the day, Nana-Addo becomes the flag bearer, Chairman is going to help Nana-Addo. There wouldn't be any division among ourselves in the party. It's a very formidable party. It's a very strong party. I'd love to be in that party. I mean,
well, you're a member of parliament on the ticket of that party, so you have no option.
I love the party. Even I love the colors of the party. If I see red, blue, and white, my God, I've made my day. The two gentlemen are good. All the gentlemen who are vying for the position of the flag bearer, they are all excellent people. So why do we have to fight? The fighting will be at the voting day. That's why we have to take the decision to make sure whoever becomes the flag bearer will rally behind him. So this fighting will have to stop. So my LBP wonderful family, I'm appealing to all of you to cease fire. Yes, Remo. This fighting will not help us. Let's take power from NDC. And taking power, we have to be proactive, we have to be decorous, we have to be decent in our speeches. We don't have to insult each other. In
many of the speeches that are made and the arguments that are made, especially in the run-up to the flag bearership race, and we know your constitution says that when you're in opposition, 2 years before the main elections, you need to do your election, your flag bearership primaries. Nana-Addo seems to be in the race.
Of course, yeah, he's in the race. Okay. Yes,
he seems to be a leading contender.
Well, I can see now, but all of them are leading contenders. Why? You know, but I believe in fair play. I believe in I believe in democracy in the party, and I know Chairman. You see, our advice, Mr. Chairman also, that when you get the platform, you should say something that will give us hope. You see,
are you saying that he doesn't say things?
He said that to give us, but you know, I overheard that because he wanted the floating voters, Nana-Addo has gone 2 times, and he feels when he gets the nod.
Well, it's a contest. He needs to say something for people to believe in.
That is what is happening. That is what is creating a problem in the party. That people are just calling and insulting each other. I don't think it is in the best interest of Ghana. You can tell them what you can do. When I become the flag bearer, I can do this, I can do that. But to get somewhere that because he has lost twice, he can't get the 3rd nod to become president. No, I don't agree with you.
Which of them do you support? Is it Nana-Addo or Chairman?
Well, I don't know, but I support all of them. I support all of them. I support all of them. I support the good candidates.
But you vote for only one.
Of course, I'll vote for only one.
But you are in for all.
I'm in for
everybody who comes. But you vote for one.
But I'll vote for one.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Justice Joe Appiah is a member of parliament for Ablekuma North. And the last time you contested, who was the...
Ras Mubarak.
Oh, Ras Mubarak. Okay, he's coming the 2nd time.
Well, I don't know whether he's coming or not.
Okay.
But he's not the coordinator at the National Youth Authority. Ras Greetings to you, eh?
He's your good friend?
Very, very good friend. He's a very good friend.
All right.
I like you so much.
All right, we'll see how that goes. We have some comments on the teacher strike that took place in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, on Tuesday. And we have this one from Kulo Isa bin Ali. He says, Nagrat and concerned teachers, you should stop behaving political. And Gibson says the teachers should go to the round table to dialogue, as the Honourable Member of Parliament in the studio has said, with the authorities. And the demonstrations will not help them. Apart from Kumi Preku demonstration, no demonstration has yielded any positive result in Ghana. This one from Gideon Edu Jemfi. Let them fight for their right, because it is their duty. It is the duty of an employer to provide good conditions of service to employees. Internal customer satisfaction is a prerequisite to external customer satisfaction. It is only a fool who is excited when cheated. We have Pay Them Well and they'll shut up. That's Bernard Orals. Ofwe, teacher from, okay. In fact, teachers are Abba, and that's coming from Kwabna Kobi. And so those are some of the comments we have on the social network pages. Please go to the page on Facebook, Joy News on TV. We also have a handle on Twitter, and the handle is AM Show on TV. Please get interactive, and as you get interactive, we'll get to relay some of those pointers to you in the course of the program. Thanks, Honorable, and thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, we'll have to look